Hi everyone, Trina Phoenix here, and I thought I would read some more of the Alchemy book and talk a little bit about this. And this is the book for all those who ask, Saint Germain's book on alchemy. And I love the teachings of the masters and of the angelics and the higher realms because they help me remember part of my foundation, my origins. And I think that's what we're trying to do right now, is get back to what we forgot. So this is part of how we do that. It's through practice of conscious thought, behaviors, practices, meditation, lucid dreaming, astral traveling, trance work, healing modalities. All of these things are the secret keys that have been so carefully washed away from our consciousness. You know, the Jesus would wash the feet of the disciples. And it's so funny, when I was learning healing work, we started working with the feet, and I resonate so strongly with the feet, because your whole body is in your foot. So you can treat somebody's entire body by working with their foot. And your fingers are different elements of fire and particles. There's power, there's earth, air, fire, water, ether in your hands. So you can use your hands with the feet, and you can consciously direct different things into the entire body just by touching a foot. And you know, it's why they call the soles of your feet, because the whole blueprint of the entire soul is held within your foot. So all these things that we used to do, and a lot of the healers in the past, they used to heal people in such profound ways with shamanic practices and with the beautiful gift of touch. So I think that this is part of where many of us have been drawn to go back into, and it definitely happened to me as a practitioner of natural healing modalities. It's been one of the most beautiful parts of my world, and hopefully real soon I'm gonna get some different things set up for some type of payment and Zoom and different stuff like that, so I can hopefully start doing some sessions distance, because I have a practice that I've been doing on my own for many years, and it's very effective, and it really does a lot of beautiful things. And it's kind of a mix between polarity, myotherapy, and shamanic deep trance work or journey work, quantum healing work, QHT. It's very similar to a lot of those practices. But I got my certification as a journey practitioner because at that point in time, back in, I think it was 2004, it was the only modality that I had seen that was my natural process of how I would work with people. So there is so much power in touch, holding space for each other, communicating, and opening up to the higher part of yourself. So through alchemy, many of these things can be immediately manifest. So I've seen healings that people have done that they would just be deemed miraculous or spontaneous healing or placebo, however you want to call it. They're miracles, and it is super amazing to witness these things. So I think many of the people in this group hold these abilities and gifts, and all it is remembering, and then you start to practice, and the more you practice, the better you become. So this is a goal that I have eventually, is to get many of us together working with these modalities as groups. And even though we can't be with each other in physicality through this beautiful device of the internet, we can come together ethernetly. So it all starts with energy first. Anyways, so I'm trying to work this out in my mind, how to change things in a manner that people can be safe in their processes while having distant healing work done. So, yeah, because I've seen some powerful things happen to the human body while these things happen. So it's really good to have somebody to look over your physical body when you're doing profound healing work. Somebody who knows how to keep you safe, because that's the teacher and the practitioner's job, is to keep you safe. So, because everybody does things different. I've never seen two people heal the same way, ever. And that's pretty profound. So everybody does it different. And they the way that we do it is perfect for them. It's nobody knows you better than you. Nobody knows how to unlock you better than you. So we can help guide and direct and navigate and kind of drive the school bus, but eventually you're the one that gets out of the bus and goes and does the work. And then when you come back from that school bus ride, things are different. So this is how we get into our superpowers, our latent, hidden abilities, and the things that are organic and natural to you. It's really nothing that you need to get. It's nothing that you need to activate. It's literally just coming into a remembrance and resonance and vibration alignment with it. And that happens through thought, feeling, and emotion. So if you get those three in alignment, it's kind of, the potentials are unlimited to what you could express. So it's a beautiful thing to learn the power of the divinity that's within you. And when you can learn about that divinity within you, you start to operate with wisdom. And wisdom is one of the highest frequencies that we can hold. It's very close to source. It's the closest to source, I think. Wisdom. The source is like all cooperation, unity, it's oneness, it's a I don't see any really separation within it. It has an awareness of itself, but in a very different way than we do, because we have a separate, individualized aspect. It's encompassing everything at once. It's super hard to put into words, and it's not a being or a person, or it's a consciousness. It's an energy, and it's an everything, and it's invisible. We will never be able to harness the power of this substance of God, creation. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it can't be harnessed fully ever. Because it just can't be. It's too fine, subtle, and it can move in anything and through anything it chooses, and it can become whatever it chooses to become. And that's the beautiful thing, that we have that part of us within us, is we've left that creative source, Godhead, as expressions, pieces of it, and we are experiencing creation as creation, creating as creator. It's a micro macro exchange, but that's what makes us so powerful, is what's within us. It has nothing to do with our physicality. It has to do with our spiritual personality and the things that you've learned over your existence. So we're going to talk today about wisdom, and it begins chapter 2, wisdom. To the precious disciples of Christ and his mysteries, I come bearing the grail of our Lord. Listen, will least you skip over the unspoken, the unwritten, the principal thing. Therefore, in thy self-discovery, know also that we are one. Wisdom defined. Wisdom is derived from the phrase wise dominion, and it is to God's own flame of holy illumination that we dedicate this portion of our trilogy. The age-old admonishment, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. It relates to the acquisition of the divine wisdom. Let me here make a distinction between wisdom and knowledge. There are men and women who can easily retain the lines of entire series of plays, and they can speak those lines before a sizable audience with great accuracy and dramatic impact. These same individuals would be at a loss if they were to be called upon to write the play, or to assemble the words and the ideas which embody its continuity. Thus, it is not sufficient to possess mere knowledge based on the power of the memory to retain the experience. Memory alone does not assure man the proper use or release of stored knowledge at the precise moment when it is needed, nor does it assure mankind the existence of proper judgment or wisdom once the facts are made available. Re-embodiment, the keystone in the arc of being. Now, as I have earlier mentioned, it would be most beneficial if the human monad would refrain from prejudgment in matters of cosmic doctrine, and even better if he could universally accept the reality of re-embodiment. For it is in the acceptance of this fact of life that he will truly discern the wisdom of the ages and more easily understand his reason for being. It is most difficult for people of any age, observing in the lifespan of a comparatively few short years in a series of events relative to the personal self, to be able to judge the world in which they live and the society from which they have derived both bane and blessing, and then to be able to perceive matters pertaining to the spirit and properly assess them. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Be correctly understanding and accepting his own re-embodiment, the individual develops a cosmic sense of the continuity of self, past, present, and future, and is better equipped to see behind the surface effects of today's circumstances, the underlying personal causes that stretch back across the dust of centuries. Simply because men lack conscious memory of a previous existence does not deny the validity of this truth. Many have experienced the sudden feeling of having done before that which they are doing for the first time in this life. Others recall in a flash of recognition, déjà vu, that they have seen it or seen this place before. Then, of course, there is love at first sight, which is to be explained by soul recognition from a past life and an inner level of awareness. Many have noted with interest the incidents of genius, that some call a gift or a talent, in art and music, science, or other aptitudes that appear at an early age, indicating the soul's resumption of a broken thread of identity. Modern physicians take note of the distinct personality of babies on the first day of their birth, and all over the world, fascinating stories have been documented concerning people's recall of vivid senses and experiences from past lives. Man has been justifiably skeptical of some of this. Yet, truth reveals itself not as a pseudoscience, but as the very science of being without end. Think how glorious, how full of hope life can be to all of those who therefore see before them not death, but only self-transformation, as the alchemy of positive change. To all who see in the law of re-embodiment as an opportunity for the slow learners and the rebellious to recover in dignity from their error, their stains, rising at last from the astral sea of identity, of personal morass of morality into the morning of eternal hope, the crown of victorious life. A world fabricated to be the platform for billions of life streams, all created as mere moths destined to fall into the flame and be consumed. A world that is a kaleidoscope of changing scenes and ideas drifting, sans stability, in an endless sea of spinning nebulae and swirling gases. Nebula. I keep seeing that's a stargate to many ways home through the eyes of the cosmos, the nebula. It holds no promise for the children of the sun other than to eat and drink and be merry and die like mortals. What marvel that men have accepted any religion at all when the factor of re-embodiment is denied by the religions and many of their leaders. You see, it was by removing this teaching from your so-called mysteries of the early church that there came into existence the very grave distortion of both the purposes of church and state that have challenged society to the present day. And this is where we get the fake Jesus, the Jesus trap, the plastic Jesus. It's from the twisting of these teachings. When the wisdom of God has imparted to man, it makes him aware of the fact of the sum total of all that he is, whether he likes it or not. It is the result of his own doings. He sees on an instant the need as well as the power to change his ways and draw himself into the alignment with cosmic law. Faith in God mounts up, for hope joins hands with faith, and the personal mistakes of the past appear to be possible of present rectification. The understanding of current failures reveals them to be the result of wrongful acts, human error rather than deliberate resistance to life, and the men and women are enabled once again to enter the mainstream of life and to participate in a cosmic drama where divine wisdom eventuates in a union of such celestial dominion as to stagger the imagination. The greatest of rockets, ancient and modern, have a platform or a launching pad from which they thrust off into the heavens. So it is with men and women in their search for cosmic truth. From the platform of the present existence, they must seek and find the threads of cosmic light that will lead them through the golden door and beyond to the etheric realms where blazes illumination's flame. Thus, from wisdom's fount, as well as inner study, the seeking, striving ones must learn to see God in action in themselves and summon Him to take command of their affairs on earth. This is the Christ activation. How great is the suffering that the Christians have endured through the elimination of this point of spiritual truth. By denying the re-embodiment, they have denied their own soul's the keystone in the arc of their being. You see, there are certain fine points of cosmic law that in a relative sense are not as important as this one. Many can deny some specifics without suffering too much damage, but to deny the truth of the continuity of its own being, its span of previous existence, and its future glorious destiny is to cut himself off from the basic premise of life. The eternal now, the doorway to the future. That's where we will pick up next time. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to try to do a couple more videos today and put them out, but I'm keeping them a little short on recording time because I've been having a heck of a time uploading. So I'm going to make them a little shorter, so hopefully I won't have any upload issues. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I love you. Have a great day, Soul Tribe, and we'll see you on the next one as the bells ring. Love you. Bye.